Well, first, why don't we start off with some basics? What is cholesterol? How would you define it or describe it?
It's carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen
Right,
all mixed together. So lipids and
right.
different types of lipids that help our body function.
Mm-hmm.
And
Good.
it's necessary.
Right,
It's
right,
just the bottom line is how much of it do you need and
right. Exactly.
the properties and all of that.
Right. Um, so I always found it interesting that it's a hormone, a precursor to
Yeah, it's a
hormones. It's a
precursor to hormone
sterol
for sure.
and cholesterol, but a lot of different hormones have a relationship, or they're similar in structure or directly related to it.
Correct.
So it is very vital, as you
Correct.
said. So why is it vital? I mean, what are some of our body functions or body parts that
You know,
need cholesterol?
sex hormones,
Right. Right.
testosterone, estrogen, your brain needs
Mm-hmm.
cholesterol. Your body needs cholesterol. So it's not something that we want somebody to be afraid of.
Right.
It's a necessary part of our metabolism. And it's affected by a lot of different things,
Mm-hmm.
environmental, dietary. But the bottom line is it's mostly like sex hormones and,
Right.
and, and that sort of
Like
thing.
progesterone,
Progesterone,
testosterone, all those types of
testosterone,
things,
estrogen, everything.
right? And our brain has
Yeah,
got a ton of
huge.
cholesterol in it, right?
Correct.
Exactly. So without it, you're not going to function.
No,
So you've got to have cholesterol. The myelin sheath, that's the kind of the insulation around the nerves that go through our
correct.
body,
The spine and
is made of
nerves.
cholesterol. So
Yeah.
so you definitely want cholesterol. We just need to learn how to get it, how to control it, what's good and what's
Yeah.
bad,
I
right?
mean, about 70 to 80% of cholesterol our
Hmm.
bodies make on our own.
Okay.
And about 20 to 30% of it we get from diet.
Okay.
And
Great.
so your body does a really good job at regulating it.
Hmm.
Genetics obviously plays a pretty big factor in that.
Right. Right.
But your body does its best to kind of maintain.
Okay, so 70, 80% our
You
body
make it on
makes,
your
and
own.
it's the liver, correct? That
Yeah,
makes the
liver makes
cholesterol.
it.
Okay,
It's either liver does most of it.
right.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that tells me then that you could have no intake of it, and you still
You'll
could have a
function for a
problem.
while,
Right,
right?
right.
Over time, right, your body
Right.
will kind of reduce the production of vital
Mm-hmm.
hormones.
Right.
So you'll last for a
For
while
a
if
little
you didn't
while,
eat
right?
it, but you
Right.
you need to eat it.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good, good. So there's different types of cholesterol,
Yep.
right? That's where I start getting confused, and kind of like the episode we did recently on fats. What are the different
So
types of cholesterol?
there's LDL.
Okay,
That's the bad.
right?
There's the HDL.
Okay,
That's the good.
good. Okay,
Triglycerides, which
okay,
is the fatty component in the bloodstream.
okay.
There's different particle sizes,
Right,
right? So
right.
there's something called ApoB,
Mm-hmm.
and these are really small particle size. So quite honestly, when it comes to cholesterol, bigger is better.
Okay,
Okay. So
okay,
the big stuff, your body can metabolize it and excrete it, right? If you have
okay.
an abundance. The small stuff is the cholesterol that deposits in our arteries, right? So if we have an
Okay.
abundance of LDL, an abundance of triglycerides, abundance of ApoB, that's when the
That's
cardiovascular
bad.
risk comes into play.
Okay, okay. Yeah, 'cause I've heard recently about ApoB and small particle, large particle. So, what are some of the health impacts? So, if I get too much cholesterol, whether my body's making it or I'm eating an outside source of it, what are the bad? Some of the obvious,
I
but
mean,
what are
it's
some of the
over
bad things?
time, right? I mean, these are things that, when I have, 20 somethings teenagers in my office and they have 20 something teenager diets, right? They're eating
Right,
unhealthy foods, blah, blah,
right,
blah.
right.
That's the stuff that catches up with us down the road, right? It
Okay.
takes time for those, bad fats to get into our blood vessels, and it causes cardiovascular
Hmm.
disease when we're a little bit older,
Right.
right?
Okay.
So that's the long-term implication of, either eating too much uh, uh, lipids or
Right.
just genetics.
Right. So that was the next part I was going to ask you about. So there are some people, they could really be good about their diet, very strict,
Absolutely.
but they're kind of doomed by their genetic
Yeah.
makeup,
Yeah.
and they're going to make cholesterol in
Correct.
abundance just from
There's a
their
couple,
liver.
there's a couple of different, elevated cholesterol syndromes, right? There are
Hmm.
patients who make really significant high levels of triglycerides. There's patients that can't excrete LDL particles. I mean, I have a
Okay.
patient who's 23 and he's a marathon runner, and his cholesterol is awful.
Really?
And, I mean, I can't ask him to eat better. I can't ask him to
Right?
exercise more. So, in his case, we actually do have him on statin because of the
Right.
long-term implications,
Okay.
so.